This is Andrew Goodman. He's the social media director for all of our brands, and he's part of our marketing team too. So he has told me that I cannot speak of certain words, which I will not say because this will get disqualified in the video. Yeah. How could I describe this starting if I don't use a sexual reference or something of beauty in that nature?
You can still use beautiful.
So I was going to originally talk, you can clear this, he's my HR manager. So I was going to talk about how a woman ages a certain way, and yet there's some chicks that are still hot post 40, right? And still they put out after 40. So using those words, would I be allowed to speak of the new P1?
Clear.
Okay, cleared. Okay, thank you so much. All right guys, welcome to Exotic Car Hacks, and today we are talking about things that age quite well. Well, there are some things that don't really age well, like white girls. They typically get really ugly after 25, but Hispanic girls age quite better, so do Middle Eastern ones. So we're going to connect the P1 to a really hot Colombian girl and tell me that this hasn't aged so well. It's still, in my opinion, one of the prettiest cars that has ever been designed. But yet, why do I hate the P1 so much? So in today's episode, we're going to take a look at the car and talk a little bit about what has made it age so well and what doesn't really work. The first thing you'll notice is that currently on the market are a lot less P1s than there were before. The other thing you'll notice currently is that there used to be a lot more 650Ss on the market and 675s, and those cars are also gone. And the reason this matters a lot is because this car, while starting in this beautiful, amazing design as one of the prettiest cars of all time, little by little lost its luster when it started giving away its headlights to the 650S, its hood to aftermarket companies who duplicated for the 570S and other cars, and little by little, many other cars that kind of look like it we're on the road. And so, you know, to the average person, they couldn't distinguish a P1 from like a 570S or even a 570S with a wing, or what about a 650S or 675? They started blurring those lines, but as these cars age and less of these other cars are on the road, this particular car's beauty has come back out. And you know, when I look at the P1, I can tell you this from having owned 5 P1s. One that I owned for myself to drive for about 6 months or so, and the other cars that were all flips. I bought them to make money off of them and bought and sold them over the last few years. There's something to be said about every P1. There's no such thing as a healthy P1. And what I mean by that is every P1 you buy is prone to have issues or come with issues because no one wants to fix them. And now that more people are afraid of the battery issues, the first gen batteries going out and costing 100 grand, people are buying them. But as the cost of these cars rise, like $1 million, $2 million, etc., spending 100K on a $3 million car isn't as big of a deal as spending 100K on a $1 million car. And so the P1 will gain more popularity and people will be less likely to want to not invest in fixing them. Now, that said, let's talk about this one because something unique happened to me when I bought this car. This was the first P1 I ever bought that actually felt healthy on the first drive. What does that mean? It didn't feel like the shocks were blown. It didn't feel like the car was struggling to find its race mode. Everything seemed to work very properly, and it didn't look like it had a single inch of paintwork anywhere on it, and that's quite important because this happens to be a one-of-one car, and no, before you say, but they made more than one Volcano Orange car, this is not Volcano Orange. It's actually called Volcano Corse, and it's something different. It's a variation of Volcano Orange, and next to a Volcano Orange car, you would truly see how different it looks. Now, in the camera, it may not look that well, but it is a very different car. So one-of-one paint on the outside, black interior with P1 logos in the same color combination on the inside, full carbon exterior, panels the way it should have come. Some people elected to do colored panels, which was ugly. The glass roof, which was also an option, looks beautiful. The carbon scoop, all of the cool details and cool options are on this car. The color's cool, and of course, since it came with the ugliest, the gray wheels that all P1s come in, then we ended up putting these HRE R101s on it in this diamond finish, which looks absolutely spectacular. Now, design-wise, I think the car has aged quite well. I mean, just look at this. It's freaking stunning. Like the full open back and the big wing. I mean, it is beautiful. It's a beautiful looking car, and it specifically pops in these colors, which makes it even greater than ever before. Now, let's take a look at the interior of this car. So we're gonna unlock it, because the interior also, you know, it's aged a little bit more than the exterior, because you have the screen. The sitting position is fine. The P1 sitting position was never an issue. The issue I had with this car when it came time to actually drive it was I wasn't really a fan of the displays whatsoever in the dash, and I wasn't really a fan of the stereo, which was very finicky with the original Iris entertainment unit. But as these cars age and they become more investor kind of quality cars, they can still be driven, but not driven as much. So you'll kind of let go even connecting your phone once in a while for the one time you take it out. But it's just really pretty. Like, no matter how you look at it, just look at this. Like, this is such a beautiful design. And it was originally part of the Holy Trinity, which was the LaFerrari, the LAF, the P1, and the 918. And if I was going to rank them, I would tell you it would be 918, LAF, and P1. And that's one of the reasons I think these cars haven't popped in value over the years. So we're going to be doing some videos with this car. We'll do the full driving review for you guys. I did it last time, but obviously it was that last time I did the driving review was my first ever owned P1. In this particular case here, this is going to be the second. I intend to drive it a little bit. It already has 3,000 miles on it, so it doesn't really hurt it if I drive it a little bit longer. And I intend to sell this car in about a year or so from now and hopefully get about $3.5 million for it. So the market currently on P1s is in the low $2 million range, and eventually will, of course, end up going up, which is kind of the point of purchasing cars, as I teach in Exotic Car Hacks, being able to select the cars at the right time so that you can not only drive them, enjoy them, but then obviously make it financially responsible. And in this case, actually make quite a bit of money. You guys saw that I set the record, the world record for selling my LP640, which was pretty exciting for me because, again, setting a world record for driving you know, a car for a year, or should I say just parking a car for a year and then actually driving it, still means that it's a pretty good thing. And then I made a couple of bucks on my GTR as I got rid of it. But this car has now been added to the collection. It's not registered to me, so it is not my car. We're gonna use it over the next couple of weeks on YouTube, see, you know, how it drives, what's really different, take a couple of drives, rig it up a little bit so you guys can get a glimpse of the beautiful color, also in the sun and everything else. But we have a lot of cool reviews coming up. This is one of the few hypercars that is arriving this year. We have a very special car arriving March 18 in pink, and then we also have some really amazing other hypercars arriving in the next 3 to 6 months here at Exotic Car Hacks. So this was just a preview of my latest acquisition, the P1 Volcano Corse 101 spec for a very rare and unique hypercar that I believe will be going up tremendously in value. So if you haven't taken your positions in P1s, join me, don't join me, that's up to you. But for me, this is ultimately the best opportunity right now in the market in the hypercar space that has yet to pop. So let's see if this is gonna pop, or let's see if it's gonna be a dud. I guess at the price, we'll have to soon find out. I'll catch you guys next time at Exotic Car Hacks, and don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on notifications so HR doesn't come after my ass.